A monotone diet is the exact same diet that you would have for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. And if you can have the same diet for breakfast, lunch, and for dinner for, you, let us say, about 6 weeks, you would be able to break down various very stubborn patterns in your body. When I begin, I do try to begin with 3 weeks with people who are doing it in their own premises with themselves, with 2 weeks, depending upon how interested they are in shifting themselves. It is the attitude and the aptitude of people to accept, but the monotone diet really changes the way a person thinks. The thinking process of the person changes. And when the thinking process starts to change, it's obviously the heralding that they are opening or they are connecting to the truth and to their heart. And once they start connecting to their truth and to their heart, then they are obviously moving up in the frequency of life. So a monotone diet can bring lots of relief to a person's life. But it's not that we can take on any monotone diet. A monotone diet would have to be like given to you by somebody who knows the diet system, so that it gives you the relevant, you can say, nourishment to your body that it requires. And it can be like, how would we put it, a complete diet in all manners, so that the body is not starved, the body is not, you can say, out of tune, out of whack with anything. The body is in harmony with everything. Once that happens and the body is satisfied, you can teach certain patterns, you can delete from the body by fasting. But majority of the shifts you can make in the body by going on a monotone diet. And that takes away the fear, because certain people, if you put the body on dieting, go into the fear of starvation. And then they have to be in the presence of somebody who is aware, or with people who are aware of what they're fasting for, in order to come out of that fear or to stay away from that fear. But the monotone diet is a comfortable diet, and if you do it, it assists you to break down various and many patterns. It can take away allergies, which I believe that the population of America is, shall I say, greatly suffering from, or there's an abundance of it. Virtually every second person that I met in America had a long list of allergies that they were suffering from. So all these allergies, these details start disappearing from the body once you go into a monotone diet, because the monotone diet also gives the body the time to heal. We're usually stuffing the body so full and so often that the body doesn't get time to stop, to pause, and to clean itself out. On a monotone diet, your body will get time to heal and to clean. A monotone diet is not only supposed to be the same diet through the day, it's also supposed to be eaten on fixed timings. So the body is so intelligent, it's like the most intelligent computer you've ever known. So it times itself, and then it gives itself time to start repairing and cleaning out all organs and all aspects of you. So it'll purify the blood, it'll change this, it'll change that, it'll do lots of things. maybe more than lots of things, things that we're not aware of as well, and things that we are aware of. The body knows best, or you can say the intellect of the body knows best how to use that time. It's like a pause, a pausing time, when you know exactly what you're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's going to be the same for 6 weeks in succession. So the mind is not at stress. It doesn't have to think. So the first stress you dissolve from yourself. You know exactly what you're going to have for breakfast. There's no thinking. There's no going there and thinking that, oh, am I having a ham sandwich? No, I'm supposed to eat a salad sandwich. No, I'm not supposed to be eating bread. I'm allergic to it. I think I'll have rice porridge. No, it's like every day you get up, your mind is churning. I think I better have some fruit. It's healthier. And so we are putting our mind under so much of stress as we are going to office. And then there might be so many days when we might not have time to eat breakfast. Whereas if we are on a diet and we know the timings, then the body knows the timings. There's no starvation. The body is not looking for resources or energy frequencies to heal itself. The body is not put out to any other, you can say, thought. It's receiving its stipulated diet, which will nourish it, give it enough amount of energy and strength to keep working upon healing itself. So it's magic.
Could you give an example of a monotone diet?
In what way, what example are you looking for? A person who has changed with a monotone diet?
Sure.
Well, that would be the best person I know who has made the maximum change is William. And he was, I think the lining of his stomach was completely out of whack, and the doctors had told him that he would have to live on the medicine. There was no other option out. So he was willing to take the most strictest and the most drastic steps because he had tried everything till then. So he did the best possible 6 weeks of the monotone diet, and the changes were, I think he could feel the changes from the third week onwards, or might be from the 2 weeks onwards also, that there were no, what shall we say, body shivers, no this, no that, nothing. He can eat all types of food, whereas he was intolerant to everything. No butter, no milk, no this, no that. And now he can freely eat everything and do everything. So obviously, the monotone diet we saw broke everything. But I have many patterns, but I don't have permission from people to mention their cases without their permission. Whereas with William, I think I have constant permission to mention about. So yes, he's one person who's done the monotone diet, who's been very strict on his monotone diet to see the changes. People who have eczema, they change fantastically with the monotone diet, because the monotone diet will reduce or rebalance the pH levels of the body. And what actually is eczema is the body is producing so much of acid that the body is eating up the body. Through the acid. So if you start on a monotone diet, it starts converting the body into its alkaline frequency, the acid reduces and eczema disappears. I did a healing for a gentleman who was in his 60s and had cirrhosis from the age of when he was in his teens. His cirrhosis had started, and his whole body was covered with cirrhosis. That even his eyebrows had the scalings, and he was like really in a very bad state on the physical body. And in 3 weeks, we were able to shift him and change him to the level where he came back and he could finally sleep on his back, which he'd never been able to do, he said, for 15 years because the itching was so bad. Cirrhosis is the itchy disease, you know. It's like, 10 times worse than eczema. It just takes over the whole body and scales it and makes it itchy. So, well, that was the type he had, the one that I healed. If there are other varieties and types, I'm sure. But yes, he started feeling the benefits within the 3 weeks, whereas I wasn't even able to put him on a monotone diet because he wouldn't go on one. I just shifted him to a more healthier diet frame. He wouldn't take a monotone diet, said no, he can't do that just yet. He has to get better first before he can go on a monotone diet. So we had to heal him by putting him on a fixed diet, like, you know, he would have different meals for the week, but at the same timings and a certain amount, not to exceed it and not to decrease it. So yes, he still found lots of difference in himself. So diet is ultimately it's the diet that makes and breaks a person. Your thoughts are directed by the food that you eat. The behavior of a person will change entirely if they are angry and vicious. If you take them away from a meat diet and put them on a vegetarian diet for 2 weeks also, you will notice that anger levels will go down dramatically. So that has a great control on human individuals. Anything else I can answer?
I guess one more thing that I just keep hearing everybody ask, what kind of things? Khichdi is one thing that you tell people. It's just lentils and rice, yes, is
Yes, rice
usually
porridge. It's called rice porridge with lentils and rice. The green mung beans are actually complete within themselves with all vitamins and proteins. And from, you can say, time immemorial in India, this was known as the best healing food in northern India. So if anybody became sick, they would be given this diet to help them recover. So yes, it is in rice porridge with lentils and rice. And of course, there are some herbs and some spinach and other things that you add to it to complete it.
Om Guruji.
Home, Amanda.